What's going on, people? Back at you again. Now, today is all about story time. Now, I love telling stories, and that's because I love to read. Reading is one of my favorite things. I don't watch TV like most people. I actually read more than I do anything else. But one of my favorite stories of all time is a story called The Odyssey. Now, I hope this story resonates with you the same way it has been resonating with me for years. The Odyssey is an old ancient Greek mythology story. It's about one of the greatest warriors of all time, Odysseus. Right, Odysseus was second to Achilles as a mortal warrior. Now, Odysseus and his army had just left northern Africa. They had a huge war in northern Africa, and they were victorious in that war. They beat the Egyptians and they beat the Persians. And the only mission they had after that great defeat was to return home to Greece. So that Odysseus, his number one goal was to get back to his wife and children. So when they set sail, heading back towards Greece in their ships, they encountered a huge storm, monumental storm, catastrophic storm. And that storm took them off of the path of Greece and led them to an exotic, deserted island. Once they got to that island, they were met by tons of women. Now, these are warriors who just left a war. And they were met on an island that was full of women. These women started to seduce the man and give these men wine. And they gave them one thing in particular, and that's called a lotus flower. They were feeding them lotus flowers like crazy. Lotus flowers, wine, lotus flowers and wine. And the man became drunk. They became enraged with blissful insanity, enraged with pleasure. Right? They were making love to these women, and they were eating these lotus flowers, and they were drinking wine like crazy. Odysseus was the only soldier who never partook in any of it. His number one goal from the very beginning was to get home to his wife and children. This is a very, very, very important part of the story. You see, while his soldiers were indulging into this, Odysseus didn't touch anything. But all of his soldiers were so drunk that minutes turned into hours. Hours turned into days, and days turned into months. They thought they had only been gone for a few days. They had been gone for over a year. Odysseus was pleading and begging and pleading and begging and pleading and begging his soldiers to wake up out of this trance so that he can get home and so that they can get home to Greece. But they were so engulfed in entertainment and in drunkenness and lust that they couldn't see past their own eyes. They could not see past their face. Odysseus finally had to kill a few of his soldiers in order for the rest of his soldiers to wake up out of that trance. And once they woke up out of that trance, they realized what had happened. Over a year had passed them by. It's one of my favorite stories for multiple reasons. It shows a story of determination and how one, no matter what obstacles come in your way, can oversee and overcome any obstacle, even the obstacles that are right in front of you, even the obstacles that you hold closest to you. But it also shows how complacency, procrastination can lead you astray and stop you from getting to your number one goal, which is being a better version of you. It also, lastly, shows you how your surroundings, the people you hold near and dear, the people who are in your circle, the people who are in your network can hold you back from reaching your fullest potential. You see, if it wasn't for those soldiers losing sight of the path, Odysseus would have been home with his wife a few days. It took him a few days to get from northern Africa to Greece. But instead, he had to wake up his people in order for them to get home to their families. And it took him over a year. One interesting key component to this whole entire scenario is the lotus flower. That lotus flower is a symbol. So it's a symbolic symbol to describe the urges and the entertainment that we indulge into every single day that keep us off of our goals, that keep you from joining and growing and becoming the best version of yourself. Think about this. How many lotus flowers are you taking right now that's stopping you? How many social media posts are you watching every single day? How many YouTube videos are you watching every single day? How many TikTok videos are you watching every single day that's getting you off of your path? You go to TikTok just to swipe up and swipe down for a few minutes, and next thing you know, hours passed you by. The things, the goals you set to accomplish that day no longer is in existence because you took the lotus flower that got you off of your path. Reality shows. Think about it. What lotus flower is stopping you from becoming the best version of you right now? It comes to a point in time when you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision whether you're going to be Odysseus, a person who's strong-headed, strong-willed on your path to becoming the best version of you, becoming the greatest version of you, becoming an unstoppable version of you, or are you going to be one of the soldiers that's going to keep continuously indulging into this lotus flower until one day you perish? Which one are you? If you want help becoming that Odysseus figure, get in that mindset. The Blockchain Bureau Academy is ready for you. 6-week group course starts this week. Hit me up.